Alright vlogs, let's talk about it. Today's video is going to be why I believe SGA will be the MVP this year, right? And I know what you're all thinking. Everyone that's watched this channel knows I'm an OKC homer, love Oklahoma City, supported them for years. But that's not what I'm here. I'm not here to say he's better than Joker, right? It's a two-horse race. It is a Joker SGA race, right? But I'm going to break down why Joker will not win this year. And you know what? It's got nothing to do with how good of a basketball player he is. Because the reason Joker is not going to win the MVP this year is because of the narrative, right? The MVP, right? And yes, you have to be an amazing player to win it. But the MVP is about stories. It's a story that you can sell, right? So there's a couple of things working against Jokic, and this is why he's not winning MVP, and SGA is, right? Number one, MVP voter fatigue, right? We all know it. It's happened all the time. If it didn't exist, LeBron would have like 6 MVPs, right? That my entire Miami run, the end of Cleveland, start of Miami run, he would have won like 5 in a row, right? But MVP fatigue is a real thing, right? And Joker's won it so many times that it's just hard to vote for him again, right? It's hard to just go, the same guy again is the best guy every year, because they want new MVPs, they want new stars that they can create. And the best way to do that is to have a young MVP, right? Look at Derrick Rose, perfect example. Was he the best player that year? Maybe, maybe not. But he was young, he was fresh, he was new. It was a great story. SGA has been ascending, and he is now at the point where he's at his pinnacle. He may get better in the future, but right now he is what you would expect a pinnacle superstar to be, right? And it fits the story of a new MVP, challenger coming up against the reigning, defending champ, right? So I think MVP vote fatigue is going to be a real thing. The second thing is winning. Now, at the end of the day, you've got to understand, right? Winning matters, right? I know there's 5 people on the court, but if you are the best player in the world, you should be able to drag that team to a really good record. Now, I'm an OKC fan. Russ won it with like the 6th seed, but that was exorbitant circumstances. He was the first player in years to get a triple-double, and we're going to get into the triple-double stuff in another video. But I just think, we're 35 games through the season, and OKC are 10 games in front of the Denver Nuggets. So if we finish the season, if OKC finish the season with like 22 more wins than the Nuggets, it's going to be really hard for Joker to overcome that, right? Here's the thing, right? Denver fans, don't hate me. Joker's stats are going to be better. He's going to have better stats because that's just the way they play. It is one of the most heliocentric types of playing. It's the same way that Luka's stats are inflated by that heliocentric play. Not that SGA doesn't have the ball a lot, not that he doesn't have a whole lot of the ball, right? But the way that the entire offense runs around Joker is a little bit different, right? His stats are going to be amazing. He is one of the best players in the world. He's one of my favorite players, but it's just what it is. If they lose, if OKC win 20 more games, then the Denver Nuggets is going to be really hard to pick Joker over SGA, even if his stats are a bit better, right? And the third reason why SGA will win MVP over Nikola Jokic, right? And this is the big one, is it's going to start being about defense, right? It's the reason that holds back Luka every year, right? Is that you can be an amazing offensive player, but you have to at least be decent defensively. And I'm not saying Joker cannot be good defensively, but he has not been good this year defensively, right? There's been plenty of plays, and I'm sure people will throw the highlights or the lowlights up of it of him not playing defense. And there's plenty of Shea too. But Shea can defend, he's a willing defender, he will get in the passing lane, and he has big moments. Like that big block against Jason Tatum, that's going to do more for his MVP campaign than another 30-point game, let me tell you, right? These are the things that people remember. It is part of the culture of the NBA that these Jordan-esque players, that these amazing offensive talents that still put in all this effort defensively, right? And the NBA loves that, right? Now, if only they could get an American All-Star to do that, then they'd be set. But unfortunately, they're stuck with a European and a Canadian, and they will make that work, right? But they are starting to see the NBA, and you can see it on Twitter and all the social medias, they're starting to realize what they have in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and that is why they're going to push him to the moon. And the best way to do that is for him to win MVP. Now, SGA winning MVP doesn't mean Nikola isn't, a deserving MVP award winner. He's amazing. And then vice versa. If Nikola has an amazing rest of the year and he beats Shea, doesn't mean SGA isn't deserving, right? And next year there'll be a bunch of new players. Maybe Luka gets fit and plays some defense. Maybe Jason Tatum takes the leap and then, Boston just dominate again. There's always a new story and a new narrative for them to tell. But this year, For those reasons, SGA, he is your MVP, and I will drink to that. Oh, that's good though. That is good. Yeah, that's good.